Hello, I'm Sarah Cloutier, and today I'm going to take you through 5 ways to optimize sales with the Sophos Partner Portal. We're going to go over navigating the Partner Portal and managing your users and their access levels. I will show you how to create a quote in just 4 steps, how to register a deal for new business or upgrade business, how to request incumbency for eligible renewals, and how to manage your overall opportunities with Sophos. So now I'm going to go into a live demo of the Sophos Partner Portal. Here's the landing page right when you log in. As a portal administrator, you have the ability to add new users and manage your existing users. Clicking on the gear icon at the top, you want to click on Manage Users. Now, portal access is completely self-service. If you got an email that says you have someone that has applied for access, then they are going to be listed under Manage Pending Users. But if you have a new employee or just someone that does not have access yet, you can go ahead and add them under Add New User. From here, you're going to enter all of their contact details. The address will be pre-populated with your company's address. If they have a different address or they're located at a different office, you can make those changes here. And then you're prompted to change their user access and roles. Now you have a couple options. Role is either user or manager. A manager is someone that has full visibility to all opportunities for your company. A user can only see opportunities that they are tied to. So if you have a sales rep from your organization that you would just like them to be able to see the opportunities that they are working on, you want to make them a user. Administrator, user admin. Now that is someone that is a partner portal admin. Partner portal admins have the ability to add users, to approve users, doing the same function that I am doing here right now. They also get all of your important compliance updates via email. So this is the top tier. This is the overall administrator. There's no limit to how many administrators that you can have at your company, but just make sure that if you're making somebody an administrator, you want them to have those rights. Central Partner Dashboard access. If you want to add on that additional access, you can change this to yes. And Partner Portal access type. Now we have 2 main types, and this is the overall type of access for the Partner Portal. Full access will let them see all areas of the portal, while content and education will restrict access to the Opportunity Manager. That means they will be able to see no customer information. We see this being used for people that have employees that focus on marketing or sales engineers, that they don't need to access company information, but they may want to see battle cards or they need to get into our training. If that's the case, you can set them up with content and education and they'll have access to those resources. Now I'm going to switch over to our Opportunity Manager. There's a few different ways you can get there, but under Sales, it's located right here, Opportunity Manager. Now I am in a test environment today, so some of my customers will look a little strange, but the setup is exactly the same. Now when you get in, you are prompted with a list of all your current opportunities. Something to note is that by default, we exclude your won and lost opportunities. We're only showing you opportunities that are currently in an open status. So if you want to get a view of the whole picture of your business with Sophos and see any opportunity that you've ever been tied to, you can click on Include. The list will update. It may take a second depending how big it is. And you'll get a much broader list to show anything that's been won or lost as well. You could take that one step further and you could export opportunities, and that will export this entire list, and it will also include license numbers. So if you want to import it into your own system, or you just want a more comprehensive list of all of your business with Sophos, you can use that feature right there. One thing to note with this is that this feature captures filters. So if you have your whole list of opportunities and then you want to filter it down to show only renewals or only approved deal registrations, You can add these filters and then export it, and it will only export the data that you filtered. A pretty neat feature. So I'm going to switch back over to exclude, and I'm going to show you how you can search this list. So up in this search box, you have a few different categories you can search by. You can, of course, search by end user, customer name, license number, incumbency or deal registration number, quote number if you have it, or opportunity name. Once you find the opportunity you're looking for, you can click on it, and that is going to open a box of a few more options to review. So the first one gives you the ability to view products. If this is a renewal, you can click on view products, and this will show you all of the products that the customer currently has. You can also create a quote for the customer. Under here, we have contact information, and it's going to show you the contact information for the customer, for you, the partner, for a distributor, if that's applicable in your region, and then your Sophos contact. Now, if you currently need to change the user, so let's say the customer contact information is changed and it's no longer Mark Turner, you can click on add new user and make that change right here. The same with the partner contact. So if someone from your organization is no longer there, or if there is a different sales representative that's working on this opportunity, you can click on change partner contact, and Sophos will know who they should work with going forward. If distribution is applicable in your region, you can assign a distributor. Something that's great about this is that our distributors also have access to the Sophos Partner Portal. So any opportunity that they are tied to, they have visibility to, including quotes, which speeds up the order process. And then the last box is your Sophos contact. You can change the sales stage. These sales stages directly correlate with our stages in our internal system. So all opportunities start at an open status. Next is in progress or lost. When an order is booked or received, the system automatically changes it to 1. That is why you do not see it here. We don't change it to 1 until we've processed an order. Now, if you get an opportunity or a lead, the best thing to do is move it to in progress, because that shows us that you have seen that opportunity and begun working on it. Over here, we'll show you any quotes that are created. Now, quotes that are created in the partner portal start with PP, as you can see down here. Quotes that are created internally by your Sophos sales team do not start with PP. So if you quickly want to identify quotes that you have created versus quotes that were created by your sales team, you'll just look for how it starts. If that PP is there, you'll know that it was created in the portal. Offers is where we list our deal registration and incumbency information, any of that incremental discount that's available to you. And the last one is notes. Here you can send a note. You can just log some notes here regarding this opportunity. This is visible to your sales team. They can also send notes back to you. Some people prefer email, but this is another method to keep your notes organized. Now, as you know, our Deal Reg program allows you the ability to register new business as well as eligible upgrades. And depending on the scenario is how you would proceed from here. So if you have a new business opportunity, which means that it's either a new customer to Sophos or a new opportunity, you can either click on register a deal here, or you can go back up to the sales menu and click on register a deal there. Either way is fine, they take you to the same place. Now, if you have an eligible upgrade, which means that this customer is renewing with Sophos, you're going to find the opportunity from your list, click on offers, and then click on register a deal. And what this does is avoid creating duplicate opportunities. That way you will not have a separate opportunity for the renewal and a separate opportunity for the deal registration. All of those incremental discounts will be on one opportunity for you. And depending on what you quote, that's the discount that will apply. In some scenarios, you may have an incumbency discount and a deal registration discount on the opportunity because you don't know which way the customer is going to proceed. In that case, you would click on the opportunity. This is a test account, so it's not visible, but you would have a button here that says request incumbency, and you would click on that button to request your incumbency discount, and then click on register a deal to register the eligible upgrade. So I'm going to take you through what the deal registration looks like. So I will click on register a deal. and it's going to take us through our deal registration wizard. Now, because I am registering up an upgrade, it's not asking me for customer information. It's asking me right for the products. So today, let's pretend this customer already owns SIXA, and they're considering renewing SIXA, Central Intercept X Advanced, or maybe they want to add EDR or maybe even MTR. I can select all the products that apply within that product family to make sure I am protected depending on the way the customer wishes to go. So I will click on with EDR and MTR standard, and with EDR and MTR advanced. If there's anything else that there is an opportunity for, I can select that here as well. Once you have your product selected, press continue. And there's no limit to the amount of products you select. It's just important that there is an actual opportunity for it so that your deal registration gets approved, because these opportunities are validated before they are approved. Lastly, it's going to ask me for my deal details. When is the expected close date? We'll say August. The expected value. This is just an estimate of the expected value. Once you create your first quote, or we create a quote for you, then this value will update to the quote value. The expected user count, this pulls from whatever the current user count is. So if that's different, you can make the change there. Now, there's a description, any additional information that you think would be helpful for us to know regarding the status of the opportunity. Think of this like a notes field. You want to enter it here. Partner contact. This is a pretty neat feature. Now, a lot of organizations, a lot of partners have one or two people that enter all of their deal registrations. They have a deal desk, but that might not necessarily be the person that is the contact from your organization for the opportunity. So if I work at the deal desk and I enter all the registrations, but I'm not the sales contact, I can change this drop down to whoever the sales contact is. That way, when Sophos gets the opportunity, they won't come to me for additional information. They'll go directly to the sales contact and get it moving even faster. If you have the technical contact information, enter it here. Same with distributor, you can share that. We always like to capture if there's any competitor information so that we're prepared for that. Opportunity type. This applies to our cloud partners, something that's managed in the public cloud. We're doing an upgrade, so I'm going to click on upgrade. And then I just want to let Sophos know what the next steps I'm planning are. Now here I have the opportunity to just save this. I can save the opportunity and that will not submit it for deal registration. Or if I'm ready to submit it, I can click on register a deal. Now we do not have an automatic approval process. All of our deal registrations are reviewed by a person. So this will go to our approval desk. It didn't like my response because I'm picking something in the past. This will go to our approval desk where they will review it and make sure that it meets the terms of the program and then approve or deny it. You do not have to wait to quote to get your approval. You can go ahead and create a quote at this point. What would happen is that it would just show you MSRP. If the opportunity is approved, you could go back into your quote, refresh it, and then those deal registration discounts will apply. One thing to note on creating a quote is that the quote still has to meet the terms of the program. So if you are in a region that your threshold is 5,000 and you have an approved deal registration and the total comes to 4,500, those deal registration discounts still would not apply even though it's approved because you didn't meet the terms of the program. So that's just something to keep in mind in case you're not seeing the discount you expected. That is a nice little segue for me to take you into our quoting tool. So at this point, I'm going to enter the product I'm looking for. Let's say SIXA. You're just going to enter a keyword, and it's going to bring up all of the eligible products. So I think this customer really might be interested in EDR. So I'm going to click on EDR. It's going to ask me for the quantity and then the term. Confirm and add it. You'll see it start to populate below. Once that happens, I can close this box unless you want to add more products. And as you can see, it's only giving me a standard discount because my deal registration is not approved. It's still in a pending status. If you want to verify to make sure that you have the right deal registration products, they're right up here as well. So I have SIXA with EDR, and SIXA with EDR is also up there. So once that's approved, I'll refresh this. I will see the proper discount based on my program tier. So at this point, I have a couple options. I can save it. I can clone it if I want to make another quote with some changes just for comparison. I can also export it. So if I want to get a copy of it to send to the customer or just have for my records, I can do that here. You have a couple different formats that you can export it to, whether it is a spreadsheet or a PDF. You can also decide how much content you want to export. So if you don't want all of these columns, you can get a summary. You also have the ability to change what you see here. So if there's any type of special pricing that you've got from Sophos and you don't want that to show on the quote, you can update that so that's not visible. Once you're happy with this quote, you are going to return back to the opportunity manager. Again, I'm in the test environment, so it didn't like that move that I just did. And there's my opportunity manager. Here's my quote. So I just want to, so that would be how you get back into your quote. So I just want to go back and show you how to request incumbency. That's something that we haven't touched on yet, so that you are aware of how you can secure that incremental discount on your renewals. Now we have two different ways to request incumbency. For the incumbency discount to apply, you must be the incumbent reseller. It also must be a like-for-like core product. So they currently own Sixa and they're renewing into Sixa. As we already talked about, if they're thinking about going to EDR, that would be an eligible upgrade. But if this customer is staying with Sixa, then I'm going to request my incumbency discount. So the two different ways you can do it are by the individual opportunity. So you can click on the opportunity, again, go to the offers tab and click on the request incumbency button. We realized that that might be cumbersome if you have a lot of opportunities. So we added a filter up here, this 90-day bulk incumbency. And what this filter does is when you log in and click on it, it's going to go through all your renewals and pull everything that is expiring in the next 90 days. Once that filter is done, a button will pop up and it will say request incumbency on all of these renewals. You can click that button and it will go ahead and request incumbency on all of those. So technically, you would only have to log in here once a quarter, once every 90 days to request incumbency on all of your opportunities. But if you have a deal that's moving quick, you need to hop in there, you need to request incumbency right away. Just find it, whether you search it or scroll through, click on that opportunity, go to the offers tab and request incumbency. Something to note with incumbency is that unlike deal registration, it doesn't have a formal approval process. So our system can validate if you are the incumbent partner. And what happens is when you request incumbency, the screen just refreshes and then it will change to approved. Of course, the program requirements still have to be met, the minimum threshold, or the one mid-market or enterprise SKU have to be on the quote. But if you meet those program requirements and you've requested incumbency, then you'll see the incremental discount. Last little note is that bulk incumbency, because it's a little bit more of a draw on our system, we only update those twice a day. We update them at 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern time. So if you request bulk incumbency and it's not that time of day, it's going to go into a pending status. And then when we run the scripts at that time, it will flip it over to approved. So don't be worried if you see it in pending. It's just our system running its processes. So that is the Sophos Partner Portal. Again, I'm Sarah Cloutier, and if you have any questions, please reach out to your channel team, and they would be happy to help. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.